Hello, Whatcom County. My name is Riley Sweeney, and you are listening to your local radio station, 88.3 KMRE FM. And this is our pledge weekend. That's right. Already, hundreds of dollars have been rolling in because listeners just like you are going on to KMRE.org and clicking the donate button, or they're calling us at 360-398-6150 because they love the unique local programming that we do here on KMRE. There's nowhere else where you can get it. So if you were hoping to hear your usual Fantastic Friday shows, you are out of luck. But if you were hoping to get a sneak peek at the coming great things happening in our community, well, I have some good luck for you. I have here in the studio with me, John Purdie, the executive director of the Mount Baker Theater. Welcome to the show, John.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Mount Baker Theater is a colossal giant in the local arts community, and so many great events happen there. You know, I was at the May the 4th event where you did a showing of Star Wars, and people were in costume. They were excited. But you guys do all sorts of fun events at Mount Baker Theater. Tell us a little bit about what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, that one of our themes there is, something for everybody. Everybody might not like everything, but there'll be something that everybody likes. So that's a good thing for us. We got all kinds of things coming up this summer. We got Missoula Children's Theaters coming back this summer. We've got, we're doing a special thing with the museum next Friday. They're doing a Nat Geo, National Geographic speaker that's going to come in and talk about social by nature. So we're super excited about all the programming that's coming down the pike.
Excellent. Excellent. What is the coolest show that you've seen at the theater?
Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm starting with the hard one.
Gosh, that is one of the hard ones. I mean,
the most memorable then.
I often just say it's the last show I just saw. The last show I just saw was the Cher show. I think people forgot what it's like to have a full-on Broadway show there. It was a 4-truck show, which means there was 4 semis parked around the building. I think one of those semis was just completely filled with costumes and wigs. I've never seen so many costume changes in one show. And they were all like the original Bob Mackie costumes that they had on the Broadway run when they did it on Broadway. So it was an amazing show.
Speaking of Broadway, I understand that there's some Broadway shows coming up next year.
Yeah, we have an audacious plan for the coming year. We'll be announcing that on June 10th, Monday, June 10th. We have like 7 Broadway shows coming in next year. Sometimes you put all these offers out to try to get them to come to your theater, right? So you say, okay, here, we'll make this offer. And usually about half of the shows, they never really pan out because not enough people put in offers. And then they're like, we're not going to produce that show. Well, I don't know what happened, but this year they all said, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it. And then it was hard to say no to a good thing. So we have some amazing stuff coming in next year. All across the year. So I think the first one's in like October, maybe late September, but all the way through next May, we've got just amazing Broadway shows coming in.
And, theater, the Mount Baker Theater is one of those things that brings people together. It's been in the community for many, many years. Talk to me a little bit about the building itself. It's a historic building.
Dude, when you say many years, like 97 years it's been here. And
started as a vaudeville hall,
yes,
I think.
Vaudeville. One of the reasons it's still there is because it was designed as a silent film and vaudeville palace. So you could do silent film and you could do regular film, and then you can also do vaudeville shows. So luckily those live shows come through. And film still comes through. So it's an amazing space. When COVID was first lightening up and people started showing up and you could just hear that buzz, you'd see people like hugging each other in the lobby because I hadn't seen them for a year or two. And I remember walking around to like board members, some of our bigger donors during intermissions, and you'd hear just that hum in the room, right? And I'm like, do you hear that? That's the sound of community knitting itself back together because they were just so happy to talk to each other again. And so I never get tired of that.
That's the power of these community organizations like the Mount Baker Theater, like KMRE. We're bringing those voices, raising them up, and connecting us all together.
Exactly.
I have a hardball question for you. True or false, Mount Baker Theater is haunted. Do you have a ghost?
Yes, more than one, actually. There's
Confirmed.
No question about that. Yeah, totally confirmed. It's totally confirmed. There's Judy is the most famous, the one that we see the most or hear from the most. I have not had that many experiences with her, but I know that just too many other people have.
I haven't had too many experiences with it. You have had.
Yeah. There's things that you'd like, I don't know how else to explain what just happened in this building. Because when you're the only person in that building, I mean, I used to work in college residence halls and on-campus housing, and so it's a little creepy when you're in those buildings by yourself. That's nothing like what it's like being in that big theater. I mean, it's half a city block.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in that building by yourself at night, it's wild.
It's a big theater, but there's no bad seats. That's one of the advantages of the theater.
Astounding, yeah, it's astounding. I remember the first time my wife took me to go see Wicked down at the Paramount, and we were like up in the third row, way up in the back of the balcony, right? And then a couple of years later, she got tickets to see it again, and we were down on the floor. I had no idea. I mean, it was a completely different experience. But there's lots of times I sit up in the balcony in the theater. Some of our best seats actually are the front row of the loge because just the view lines of you can see the crowd at the same time watching the show. So there's really no bad seats because you're so much closer to the stage than a lot of other places.
And, you bring such an incredible spread of shows. I've seen you guys did a silent film there recently, Robin Hood, which was great with an organ player.
Yep.
And I understand you've got a certain famous musician coming here soon.
Well, we have all kinds of famous musicians coming soon, right? I mean, the one we just put on sale for August is like the Decemberists are coming through. I can always tell when the staff reacts. Like sometimes the staff are like, okay, cool. And then sometimes the staff are like, when does that go on sale? And can I get my tickets early? And then Ben Folds is coming in September. So we're super excited about bringing him back to the stage as well. He does this thing with paper airplanes. People, we supply the paper and then people write wherever these songs are. And then they just throw them up there and then he just grabs them off the stage and he can play basically anything you throw up there. And so sometimes it gets a little wild because people throw up songs that you really don't want to hear. but it's amazing watching him play those and he'll sing whatever you want him to sing.
Excellent. Well, I always, when I'm thinking about what shows I want to see, I always check Margaret Bickman's Arts and Entertainment Spotlight, airing right here on KMRE, to find out the best and coolest shows to go see in Whatcom County.
For sure, for sure. I volunteer over at the Theater Guild still. I've been volunteering there since like 2008. And so, there's always good shows happening over there as well. There's stuff at the New Prospect Theater. And so one of the things that, tying it back into the community element, we're always so happy to participate with the local dance companies that will put their shows on there every year. In December and June is some of our busiest months because, the symphony is performing, the dance schools are performing, just all kinds of stuff is always happening in there.
Excellent. Excellent. If people want to find out what cool shows are coming, how can they get more information about what's going on at the Mount Baker Theater?
It is so hard. We really try to hide it under a bushel basket. So it's, but what you can do is go to the mountbakertheater.com and you have to spell it all out. I'm sorry. It's MOUNT Baker Theater, RE. It's .com. And truly just always go to mountbakertheater.com. You can call us if you want. You can come into the office if you want. We're happy to help you. But it's astounding how many people will just they'll type Ben Folds Bellingham or Ben Folds whatever, and they invariably will get sent to a third-party ticket website. And you are always going to pay at least double. I just can't believe how much people will pay for some of these tickets. And then there's always an issue with their tickets, and then they're complaining to us, and we're like, "What do you mean you paid $300 for this ticket? It was a $60 ticket." So always mountbakertheater.com is always the place to go.
Going straight to the source is so important, which is part of the reason why KMRE is so important. You get the straight voice of the community direct into your ears, streaming across the world at KMRE.org or broadcasting at 88.3 FM KMRE. You can help support all the good work we do here, elevating the voices of our theater and arts community and all sorts of other locals by donating today, 360-398-6150. Join your other local Whatcom County residents who've already donated this morning. We're hoping to clear 4 figures today, and you can be part of that. John, so great having you in the studio. Thank you for all that you do to bring these fantastic shows to town and provide this community connection that we all get to enjoy. So thank you, John.
Happy to do it. Thanks for having me.
All right. Stay tuned. We've got more great interviews coming up today, including Mayor Kim Lund. Stay tuned.